We also met with the former political advisor to Mr. President, Barrister Ahmed Gulak. Barrister Gulak is at the forefront of those kicking against the issue of party waivers. He says granting a waiver would encourage the party and the people to take the party for granted. He says employment generation will be his priority if given the chance to govern Adamawa State.
Having been part and parcel of the political development of the state from 1990 when it was created out of the then Gongola state, and having actively participated in the political development, having been member of the House of Assembly, having been a Speaker of the House of Assembly, having gone around all the 226 council wards, having known all the grassroots politicians and the political gatekeepers, and having studied the ethnic groups and what has happened in the past 7 years vis-a-vis the misgovernance unleashed on the people by the then Governor Murtala Nyako. I felt I was right, I'm ripe enough, I'm experienced enough, I'm well positioned to take the shot at the government house at Adamawa State. And that is why I've thrown my heart into the ring to participate in the primaries of our party, and God willing, after I clinch the ticket, to go in for the by-election.
Now, the return of Malam Noor Ribadu is drawing a lot of attention. Do you see that limiting you in any way?
I don't think so, because if we are practicing democracy, you cannot just jump out and jump in and begin to think that you will be governor under this platform. You see, if Nuhu Ribadu is popular as he claims to be, he should stand election in his own APC party and win election. APC won election in Ocean State. So if Nuhu Ribadu is popular, he can stand election in APC and win. But you can't decamp from APC and now jump into PDP and now say you want to take a shot under the platform of PDP. You know, our party constitution is clear. You see, you ought to have spent 2 years in this party before you are qualified to stand election in this party. And even if you apply for waiver, the waiver must follow due process. You must apply to your ward chapter, who will now clear you and recommend you to your local government chapter. Your local government chapter, in that wise, will sit down and deliberate and clear you and recommend you to the state chapter. The state chapter will then deliberate, clear you, and recommend you to the center for granting of waiver. You see, waiver is only needed if somebody will add value to the party. As far as I'm concerned, Nuhu Ribadu will not add any value to PDP in Adamawa State.
So now let's come to your agenda for the governorship position of Adamawa State. How do you intend to turn around positively the fortunes of the people of Adamawa State?
Like I told you, I have prepared myself for this task. I have prepared myself for this assignment. First and foremost, I must, within the shortest time possible, 2 months, restore confidence in governance. Make the people own the government. Make the people of Adamawa State own the government. Let them believe that this government is theirs. And that is why government activities is going to be transparent. Unity will be brought back to bear on governance in Adamawa State. Accelerated infrastructural development. I will tell you, if you go to Adamawa State today, just drive around the town for just 15 minutes, you will definitely come to irresistible conclusion that Adamawa people have been shortchanged callously.
Are you saying everyone will be gainfully employed should you become the governor of Adamawa State? How do you intend to carry out this plan?
One, I will use agriculture as the vehicle for that mass employment of able-bodied Adamawa indigenous, women, men, and youth. Agri is the basic vehicle for that mass employment.
Also in contention is the former Action Congress of Nigeria's candidate during the 2012 Adamawa governorship election. Engineer Marcus Gundiri. He was reported to have lost the governorship election under controversial circumstances. He still lays claim to that election victory. Channels TV had a one-on-one interview with him. Take a listen.
If we just cast our minds back to the 2012 governorship election in Adamawa State, that time we saw a situation where I actually was leading when the results were being collated from 17 local governments of the 21 local governments of Adamawa State. And everybody believed that I was going to be announced as the governor-elect. But at midnight, there was a blackout of transmission, and the collation center said that people should go for a break. And when the people came back, the whole thing now changed. And the 4 local governments that were remaining for the results to be announced from. Now, they had so much outrageous type of results that we actually contested this type of results in the low courts.
Now, how do you see the return of Malam Nur Ribadu to the PDP fold? Do you see this limiting your chances in any way?
No. I don't see it at all.
Does that mean you welcome the return of Malam Nur Ribadu to the PDP?
He is increasing the number of people in PDP.
Now, you are one of the aspirants seeking for waivers, according to the PDP constitution. How do you see this issue of waiver?
No, that is not true. If, for instance, they don't value any candidate, if I don't add value to that political party, then there's no need for me, people should not even worry about me. Give me that free chance to contest if I'm a non-entity. And you will now know what caliber of person or candidate I am, or aspirant I am.
Now, let's look at your chances of clinching the PDP primary ticket for the Adamawa by-election.
Oh, I'm very, very optimistic that I'll clinch that, because I have the support of the people, both the delegates and every other person, the nooks and crannies of Adamawa State. Now, I'm not a newcomer, and one thing that has to be remembered is the elections in 2015 are not going to be mock elections in this country or in Adamawa State. And therefore, we have to have people that are seasoned, people that are tested, people that we believe can be able to win elections for the PDP.
The media aide to Malam Nur Ribadu, Abdulaziz, sent an apology for the non-availability of his principal to appear on this edition of the program. It says Malam Nur Ribadu will be able to grant interviews after the conclusion of the primaries on September 6. Dr. Ahmed Mohamed Modibo also apologized for not being able to make it on the show. He also sent a word through an SMS on why he's running for the PDP governorship ticket for Adamawa State. He says his 35 years of public service across all levels, especially his experience in education, has been why several people across the state in Adamawa are urging him to contest. On the issue of party waiver, Dr. Modibo says the PDP has a clear guidelines and as a party loyalist is ready to abide by party decision. He joins us in this phone interview.
I have served in the country for 35 years in the public service of the federal government. And immediately after my service, several people from across the state kept on urging me to take a shot at the governorship in Adamawa State with the belief that with my experience, especially in the education sector, I will translate that to Adamawa State, and we believe that education constitutes the foundation for any meaningful development in a society.
Adamawa is one of the states currently under declaration of emergency. What are your plans to tackle this challenge of insurgency?
Well, the challenge of insurgency is a very serious challenge, and it requires all hands to be on deck if we are to stem it out. It is not just government or security agencies. We must return to the old days whereby we are our neighbors' keepers. We must concentrate on checking movements of people into our various settlements to ensure that they do not constitute a nuisance to us. But more importantly, we should provide, or our administration intends to provide, enabling environment for self-employment, meaningful employment, and then revival of education.
You have heard from some of the PDP governorship aspirants. You may send your opinion about granting party waivers for some of the PDP aspirants to our different social media platforms showing on your screen. We'll be taking a break now, and when we come back, we'll be having our political roundup for the week. Join us again.
Daily, our world changes. Sometimes it could be tough to keep up with these changes. Some other times, communicating these are even harder. Our job here on Sunrise is to break it all down for you, not just to understand, but take the right action. Sunrise, every Saturday at 9 a.m. only on Channels Television.
And here is our political roundup for the week.
Barely a week after the former deputy governor was impeached over alleged gross misconduct, the State House of Assembly confirms Reverend Ralph Nwoye for the vacant position. Ijaw leader Chief Edwin Clark calls on the People's Democratic Party not to grant waiver for the former boss of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, in his bid to secure the party governorship ticket for Adamawa by-election.
That's all for the program on this week's edition of Roadmap 2015. You may keep the conversation going by sending your comments and opinion about the issue of granting waivers for some of the governorship aspirants for the Adamawa PDP governorship primaries on our different social media platforms showing on your screen. Many thanks for watching. Do join us next week for another exciting edition of Roadmap 2015 on Channels Television. I'm Benga Ashiru saying goodbye.